Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In today's video we decided we'd do something interesting. We are playing on the Paladin. The weapon we have decided for actually doesn't matter. We could go for any weapon we want because we are not using any of the actual skills that pertain to those weapons. So we're going to be taking Dawnbreaker's Mace because of the cast frequency and crit damage and area. And we're going to get straight into it. We're looking for two skills and we're going to be using singular focus on them. The two skills are going to be Beacon of Light and Heroic Strike. And the reason for that is because both of them have confused. So we'll get into more of that in the actual game. But our runes are Multicast Mastery, Singular Focus, Skill Inclination Holy, Skill Affinity Holy, and then Unconventional Start. So let's get straight into it. Let's do Scorching Valley this time. Oops, we got to just go and increase all of our curses back to the very top. Something to note is if the curse isn't shining like this, it does mean that you have not got all of them for that specific tier equipped or checked. So you do need to make sure that they are all checked to ensure that you have the correct curse intensity. Otherwise they just have the blackness there. So the first thing we're going to do is actually banish all of the other holy skills. We do want to only have Heroic Strike and Beacon of Light. So we are actually going to go and start with Beacon of Light over here. So we lock Heroic Strike, and then we'll also grab only two of the Beacon of Light and Heroic Strike, and then we might go for a Might and a Arcane Power as well. Otherwise we could just go 3 and 3. It's up to you guys. For myself, we are going to be going for at least one Arcane Power and at least one Might. It's not necessary, you do more than enough damage without it, but it's very nice to have as well. And in the beginning we charge up our passive. It's very nice and easy to get, and then we don't activate it until we start the very first boss fight, or even the second or third boss fight, because the first boss fight will be very easy anyway, so we're not really too worried about it. Now, what does Confused do? Confusion makes us wonder what we are doing with our lives. No, I'm joking. Confusion reduces the target's chance to hit. Well, on Heroic Strike it's by 5% per stack. On Beacon of Light it's 1% per stack, which means if the enemies have if we only went Heroic Strike and the enemies had 20 stacks of Confused on them, there would be a 100% chance for the enemies to miss their hits. And then with Beacon of Light you need 100 stacks for it to be a guaranteed miss. So we are aiming to get 100 stacks on the enemies regardless of which one was causing the stacks, so that we always have 100% chance for the enemies to miss. For some reason it doesn't actually translate to that, although maybe it does and I just haven't been aware of it. But sometimes you'll still see that the bosses, even when they have so many stacks on them, they still do manage to hit you with attacks. That is very possible that it means they mean by chance to hit, so maybe it means like a physical hit, and they don't consider things like your spells and everything like that to be physical, or whatever the case may be, or target a hit spell. So maybe when it's AoEs it still hits, but if it isn't then it doesn't. Now we are actually going to be banishing all of the area of effect and things like that. We do want to grab all these rare power upgrades instead. We are going to get rid of the damage upgrades and the things like that that are pertaining to only that one upgrade, and go from there. So over here we actually have both Might and Arcane Power, so we are going to take both, and then that's going to be the build in terms of active skills. So now we can go and lock active skills, work on crit, and then we are going to be getting more of these because we did banish the other upgrades for them. So we'll land up getting the Relentlesses for cast frequency, and then we're just going to get the multicast and the area of effect based off of the rare power-ups for area as well as for swing. So that's the plan. That was the idea of it. Again, banishing the area over there, grab the multicast, and we can grab an expansive from that. It's just to make sure that all of them have the same amount of stats and things like that, and there isn't one doing more than the other or anything like that. It also kind of makes sure that we get the right upgrades as well, and we don't have to necessarily worry about one skill over the other. Alright. It is one of the best strategies as well when you are using singular focus to just get rid of the single skill upgrades, and then you'll more than likely find the other upgrades more often. Well, that, you know, at least that's the plan for it. We do need to just try and grab ourselves a bit more movement speed because we are very, very slow, and having that movement speed is going to make this a lot easier. But you can already see we deal so much damage. We are going to take a little bit of damage over there just so we can pick up our passive. I did say we didn't really need it for the first set of bosses, but the movement speed is nice, and as you can see, we just kill things a lot faster. And you know, we want to have a slow time here, so makes sense. With regards to the towers, people have been asking why I don't go run and destroy them. Well, the reason is it's already taken me 4 seconds just to reach that one tower, and then even more time to reach all of them. The towers spawn every minute, so it means every minute I would then have to waste at least 10 to 20 seconds running around the map trying to destroy the towers that spawn, whereas that means we're losing time in terms of enemies spawning, and therefore it makes the run go that little bit slower. I mean, it is negotiable in terms of how much time you waste or miss or whatever the case may be, but it is missing time regardless, so that's why we don't do it. And I mean, we can do it. It's not really the end of the world, but it is, if you see me not doing it, that's the reason why I don't do it, is because I'm trying to get, you know, the run to be as quick as possible, because if you make the run slower, the bosses are going to have more HP, and then they are going to be harder to kill further on, especially if you don't have a lot of damage and things coming from some of your skills. So you really do want these runs to be as quick as possible, especially when they aren't your meta builds or, you know, using extremely strong skills. Although in this case we are using extremely strong skills and we don't have to worry about the timer, so we can run around killing them this run. But sometimes I do really silly things where we can't afford to waste time and chase after the pylons. Okay, we got a multicast. We will take this, even though it is only for one of them, just because it is actually quite strong. Damage increases, some more multicast, a nice legendary multicast over there, and then some more area of effect. The area of effect is going to make it so that the skills obviously are a lot higher or further out. As you can see, like that, you could see it growing slowly. It does make it a lot easier and safer for us to play, and therefore we are in a much better spot. And then we can also apply the confused a lot faster when we have a higher area of effect. Okay, do that. We do have a Doom Knight, so we need to go and kill him. Any time today, there we go, he's dead. I cannot stay for that one, we would have died if we kept that up. Unfortunately, we did have the Void Presence over there that was about to, you know, do its huge AoE and kill us. So we did have to move there, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Alright, we don't even need the passive, but again, very easy to get if you, you know, you just wait around. You don't have to wait in the circle, you just need to wait till the very last second to run into it, and it does make it a lot easier to get into it than like standing in the circle and then you get all the enemies AoEs on your face. So what you do is you just wait for it to be a little bit further. Unfortunately, it doesn't count if you're in the air, so you do need to make sure you aren't knocked up or anything like that. And you do need to just make sure that you don't have any of the enemies with their flamethrowers or anything about to hit you as well. I've yet to find a good example of when we are able to get our passive, because as you can see, we've got a lot of stuff going on our screen. We probably should turn down our VFX a little bit, because the beacon of light is making it quite difficult to see everything around us, but we should be okay. Again, the nice thing as well about Confused is that it does have retaliatory damage, so the enemies do have a chance of hitting themselves. It is a 50% chance, so it doesn't always happen, but what happens over here is that there's a 50% chance that they'll take 58 damage. The damage value is stackable based on our damage, so if we do go and get like here damage modifier, this should make it go higher. So it went up to 60, and it's 1400 damage on heroic strike. So very, very strong, very nice to have, and it's just extra damage out of nowhere. You know, if something does try and hit us, there's a 50% chance that they will deal damage to themselves instead. So very, very strong. Definitely worth getting some confusion into your build, no matter what build you're using. Unfortunately over there I was really trying to be greedy and grab our passive, and we did take a lethal hit and die, but again we do have more lives, so it doesn't really matter if we do take a lethal hit every now and then. You know, I do know that some of you really do like seeing you take that lethal damage, and well, there you go, there's a nice lethal hit for you. Also, I do plan on doing a 0 to hero stream in the game. If you guys would like to see that, let me know down in the comment section. I think it would be quite interesting to see how fast we can go from a brand new save all the way to the end of, let's say, like an endless 7 or endless 11 run with well, I mean even like 100% of every achievement in the game. See how quickly we could do it. Maybe the only achievement will be that we won't do would be killing the 500,000 enemies, because that's not necessarily based on, you know, how quickly can you get it done. That's more based on just doing it and killing that many enemies. So what we could do is just see how fast it takes us to get to every achievement, but those last couple of ones. Or if you want, it can be a stream where we started in the morning and spend the entire day doing it, farming up to those achievements to see how many hours they actually take to get there. But that could be a very, very long stream. But at least while we do the stream, we can actually, you know, have all of you be like, oh, this time why don't you try this build while we are getting to those you know, those endings or whatever the case may be, or let's see what happens if we try this. You know, it becomes a very cool interactive game mode, I guess we could say, where you guys become participants in it as well. Otherwise we could do it as a 0 to hero, but see how quickly we can reach end game the most effective way possible. So let me know which one you would like to do. Would you like to see just a complete 0 to hero end game, get all the curses and all the weapons and all that unlocked? Or do you want to see 0 achievements all the way to 100% achieved in-game achievements, not Steam achievements? Because we already have all of those, unfortunately. But, you know, we can see if we go from either, you know, the two options. So either the most effective way to unlock absolutely everything and to get everything done, or the just messing around trying to unlock everything with all of you guys as well, based on, you know, what we would like to do while we're busy playing it. So yeah, let me know down in the comment section. Okay, grab all of this. We actually, we did actually get quite a lot of crit. Didn't even realize that. I thought we didn't have that much crit going on. But as you can see, as long as you are able to just run around, it's not the fastest build, but it's a pretty safe build to play. Again, as long as we do have stacks of confusion on the enemies, we should be pretty safe in terms of taking damage. But I think, I mean, there we had like 800 stacks on the enemy, but you could see that they still dealt damage to us. So I'm not sure how the confusion works 100%, but they are supposed to, you know, miss the targets. You know, you're supposed to not be able to be hit. But anyway, As you can see, the damage, they both deal decent amounts of damage, both dealing 40 plus million damage, which is really good. It does mean they're both on par in terms of the damage they deal. Obviously, Beacon of Light has a much bigger AoE, but the damage of the number does correspond to, you know, the damage of a hard-hitting skill as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Let me know down in the comment section what you'd like to see in the upcoming stream. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.